Go. Why don't you just get us started? Thoughts? Excited for Cleveland?
I'm ready. I'm more excited for practice today. So that's where it starts, just prep. So we intend to be in Akron today. We're going to drive up to Akron, practice there. We've played there, obviously, before, spent the night, obviously, there before. So we're just trying to have a comfortable setting for ourselves.
Coach, can you take in this season thus far and talk about win and losses aside, how fun the season's been for you guys to get to this point?
It's been a lot of fun. I try to tell these kids all the time how grateful I am for them. I know a lot of coaches out there aren't always happy with their team. I understand. To be able to win and enjoy your team, that's a cool thing. And I'd say in my profession, 75% of the coaches aren't very happy with their team. I'm very happy with my team and very grateful that I get to coach this bunch. And so, I just think that it's been a great experience so far.
Headed to the MAC tournament, the first time since 2019 for this program. Going into this season, what were your expectations, and were there any kind of specific turning point or moment you point to where maybe your players started to believe of what was possible for this group this year?
Our expectation from the get was to win, and to win big, and to get into the tournament, not the MAC tournament, but the NCAA tournament, win as many games as possible. That's always been our goal. Obviously, we had some setbacks this year with being a new team and a young team, but it hasn't stopped their resilient nature. They have fought every bit of the way. The fact that they've after some clunkers in games, we come back the next game and we showed what we're about. The kids have shown what they're about. As far as a moment, and this epiphany moment, I would say no. I think they've been very consistent from the get, just like our staff. We expect to win, and it doesn't matter who we play. We always expect to win. Every game we've walked into this year, we anticipated that we were going to win, and that's a good feeling. That's a feeling that a lot of teams don't get to have. We certainly have had that this year, so it's been a good year thus far.
You mentioned youthfulness with the program. Can you kind of talk about what the development has been from day one till now this season?
Yeah, so anytime you start with a new team, the first thing is, especially a team like us, where we haven't won here, prior to me in so long. So it's not like a Toledo or Kent State, where those kids, even if they hadn't played, they'd been a part of winning. And there's something to that, right? And so our kids, for the most part, we didn't have a single kid, obviously, that hadn't gone through here, come here and won, but we didn't have a single kid that had ever won at this level. And so it's been a great experience and I haven't won as a head coach. I could say whatever as an assistant coach, it doesn't matter. I hadn't won. And so it's been a great experience for us to all figure it out together. My job is to try to, how I feel is to try to paint those lines and keep everybody in between those lines and not allow things to blur, and to just keep everybody on the same page, focused in the same direction. And so, obviously things didn't go 100% the way that we always wanted it to go this year, but honestly, I wouldn't trade it. I think that I personally, being selfish, have had a great experience. They can speak for themselves. I think they have. And so I just feel like it's just been a great year so far. We just want to end this thing right. When I say end it right, we want to finish this thing right, because we know that we can win. It's just a matter of doing it.
You talk about the lack of postseason experience on your guys' team. I know you've, at least as an assistant, obviously coached in a lot of postseason games, and you understand how those tend to go. A lot of crazy things tend to happen, right? Is there anything that you and your staff have said or done with this team to kind of prepare them for that type of environment and those types of games?
I think the biggest thing that our staff tries to do is try to teach the professionalism within all of this. And I think that when you have that professional makeup, I think that prepares you for anything, whether it's basketball, whether it's life. If you simply go about things the right way, preparation, you go about things the right way. And I think that our kids have embraced it, adopted that. And so, you could put them in stressful moments, which we've been in many this year. Some we've won, some we've lost, but we've been in it. And so these kids are young, but at this point now, we've started almost the same lineup all year. These kids, they've already been in tough, they've already experienced it now. So they're not like, they have some savvy now, you know what I mean? So they've been through some stuff, and they've been through it together. So I anticipate them being ready to go in the tournament.
There's been a couple of hiccups over the last month and a half, but overall, during that span, it's been your guys' most consistent stretch of the season, and that's by design, right? But is there just anything that you've seen from your team that has looked different here as we've wrapped up the regular season?
I think we talk about it all the time. I think we talk about playing the game the right way. And I think that our kids understand what that looks like for us. And when we play the game the right way, it's all about us. It's less about our opponent. And actually this year, more than probably any team that I've ever coached, it's more about us than our opponent. And I really believe that when we go about our business the right way in our preparation, we stay within our work, we show up with great energy and great attitude, and we play with great effort on the court, we're probably going to win. And I mean that. It's when any one of those things gets slippery that things can get difficult. And, even with all that being said, it's at the end of the day, it sets you up for success. It doesn't guarantee you success. It sets you up. And going back to your question, I think our kids understand that far greater now than maybe they did earlier in the season, or even definitely in the summer. Because they have a great sense of professionalism when it's time to be professional. And we preach that more than probably, and we talk about it more than anything else here.
This is the third game against Kent State. You lost the first one at home, won the second one by 2 points. What's the mindset going into this third one, and is it any different now that it's the postseason?
It's no different. Our mindset is to win. That's our anticipation. We expect to win. Again, it's about doing the right things, We'll be prepared. We'll be ready to go. We'll know what to do to win. And I'm convinced our kids will execute the way they're supposed to. We'll find a way to win.
A stat here that 42 wins between the women's and men's team this year equals the most ever at Miami. How gratifying has it been to kind of see both programs and the climb and the trajectory this year and kind of doing that side by side together, and the buzz around Oxford and Millette? I
think it's really cool, especially because it hadn't been done ever, really, right? Ever. And so, we're still knocking on the door for that elusive one more win, and that 20 win speaks loud. And I specifically recognize that. Kudos to Travis and his team. They've had a special kind of season. They're in position to win the MAC. They're loaded. They have great offensive talent. They play hard defensively. They have a great staff. They work well together. The fact that we share suites, I think, makes our situation more intimate. We know what struggles they have. We're around when they're feeling good, and they don't hesitate to come into my office, or speak to me or text me when things might look a little sketchy, at times, or to give me some advice, or so I think we have a really good setup here. As far as the community, I just think that we're growing this thing. Obviously when I got here, there wasn't quite as much excitement, and the fact that, there's been more and more people showing up. I'm getting more and more emails. I'm getting texts. I think that speaks to what these kids are doing, and so it's cool. It's cool to witness. It's cool to be a part of. And as far as me, I see it as I have an opportunity to serve. I serve my kids, but I serve the people before me, and I serve our community. And it's gratifying to be able to give them what they covet.
You talk about kind of the focus on your team this season and going into this tournament, but
Wait, stop 1 second. And I want to make sure that I say this. Our administration has been amazing towards me, and they've been, extremely supportive, the whole time, and they deserve this every bit as much as I deserve this, and so. Kudos to, President Crawford and Chauncey and David, and all of them. And I hope that our kids understand the sacrifices that have been made for them to be in position to be successful, And so it starts at the very top. I'm just the guy in between. So I'm very fortunate to be able to serve everybody.
biggest key to success this weekend as a whole, hopefully in a run of multiple games for your team, what's the biggest key?
Be us. It's the biggest key. I think I said it before, like if we just stay together and we simply do what we're supposed to do, we'll win. And I mean win it all, and it's and that includes the staff. Staff has to do their job. We have to do our job. But the kids know what to do. Staff knows what to do. We just can't we can't go outside the lines. We got to stay in the lines and stay true to us. So,
Enjulina, just go ahead and talk about how things have been going recently to set you guys up for the MAC tournament.
I think we've been doing the same thing since summer, just maintenance, getting reps up, practice is kind of the same, just a little bit less intense because, of course, we're going into MAC and we don't want to get injured. But everything's the same. Like Coach said, is being us, doing what we got to do, and staying strong.
Your team has made history this year, first time in the MAC tournament for a while, a lot of wins. What would it mean to win the MAC tournament?
I mean, that's what we came here to do. Like, some of us transferred in and, I came in to win. Like, so did Maya, Millie. Like, everybody in this program believes that, like, we can do it all if we just put our mind to it and we stick to us. So, I mean, it'll be surreal to do it because nobody believes we'll do it. But I think that we've seen everybody in the MAC and we know that we can, obviously, if we do what we got to do, we can accomplish it.
Can you dissect this experience for you personally? Like, how have things been going for you and what this has been like?
It's been a roller coaster in the sense where, last year I was injured and I couldn't play. So I had a quick turnaround and just come in and make this big impact that I'm making on the team. Like, it's special to me because I know there's younger kids on the team that look up to me. So it's special because I want to show people that, when I got in the portal, there wasn't many people that believed that I could come back and do what I'm doing now. So I thank Coach Box a lot and Ben for reaching out to me and believing in me and, and I'm just putting in the work and I'm going to do what I got to do. So.
How do you explain the success for a team like this where you have so many new pieces that they were able to come together so quickly?
It started in summer. It started, building not just in practice, outside of practice in Birdcage. Birdcage is where Katie, Claire, and Corey live. We would bond there, watch movies, play cards, or hang out all the time. And it starts with bonding off the court as much as on the court. So even with whatever happens, in the MAC tournament, of course, I'm just grateful to have amazing friends and had made amazing memories that I'll forever hold in my heart. So if we don't or we do win, which we will because we want to, you'll always have, people to be there with you, if that makes sense.
Just from seeing some of these younger players that have come in as freshmen, and I know you transferred in just this year, but what can you say about some of those freshmen and how different they look now compared to when the season started?
My sister's hurt with the ACL, so she hasn't been able to play. And she just started getting on the court, and she's our scout player. Like, she helps us go through practice, runs up and down the court with us. So that's special, like being able to like play against my sister. And, you know, like when people tell her something, she takes it. And it's different because you're not playing, but you're on the scout team, and she does whatever she needs to do to be better for us. Emily Bratton, I mean, y'all seen her play. She's gonna be something special, and as long as she gets a little bit tougher, you know, like that's what we're working on now. That's what I'm trying to tell her. Like, be mentally strong. Like, that's something that people don't think you need to work on, you know, and that's probably 90% of the ball game. Like, it's more mental than physical, in my opinion. And you know, that's something that I've been telling her like she needs to be better with, and she's getting there. She's gonna get there. We have Tamar. Shoot, I play with Tamar. It's something different. You know, she's a great teammate. She's someone that she pressures up on the ball. You know, like, you don't have that. There's people that don't want to do that, and she does it all game long, 94 feet. And to have that intensity up there, like, it makes you want to go harder for her. So those are just some people, but those are definitely like people that impact, and everybody does in different ways, but
And you guys have 3 double-digit scorers on this team. I know you weren't here last year, but that was certainly not the case. It felt like in a lot of games last year. How nice has it been just to have more offense? I know you're averaging near the top of the MAC at 17 a game, but to have that amount of offense around you too.
I know it was me, Maya, and what was it? Amber. You know, like, that's expected of us 3, you know. And to win, we gotta do what we have to do. And, you know, it's even better when you have teammates that can help you. Like, that relieves so much pressure off everybody else. Like, I don't need to score 17 a game. You know, I don't need to score 20 a game. I can rely on Maya. I can rely on Amber. I can rely on anybody else on the court to do it. So it's anybody's night, and anybody can step up and do what they got to do. But that's awesome to know that, you know, you have 3 people that you can really depend on and, you know, be consistent.
This is the third game of the season against Kent State. They put up 77 points in the first matchup. So what's the game plan going into this game?
Like Coach Box said, just being us and staying true to us. I think that when we do that, like, it's on the floor, it feels like it feels electrical, like it feels different when Tamar's pressuring up on the ball, when we're all like locked in on the same wavelength, like it feels magical for sure. So just be us.